When we're at school, the only way we used to learn is through books and our teachers. There was syllabus and our teachers used to tell us that what to study and what not to. And also they used to clarify our doubts and stuff. It was like a systematic approach of learning. So what really happens is that whenever you are actually outside of your school and mostly in the colleges and when you're out of college as well, it becomes very important that you learn how to learn things, right? Because that's the only thing that teachers don't teaches us. So in this episode of the ImpleBooks podcast, I will share 3 ways you can learn to learn, better, right? So let's get started. So the first thing is that you should do is have a mentor. You might be saying that, okay, I had a teacher or in school or colleges, right? But I'm not talking about teachers. Teachers are someone if you have a doubt or something, you just go to him or her and they are going to clarify your doubts, and they maybe give you some tips and tricks to actually deal with such kind of doubt, and they sort of guide you in every situation. They almost handhold you to actually get out of the way, right? But mentors are not like that. Mentors are going to actually just going to show you the path that, hey, these are the 2 paths that you can walk into. You can, if you go to this, you may get some different result. If you go to this one, you may get different results, right? You get to choose that what to do, what not to do, right? Mentors are sort of like a guide which actually invokes that curiosity that what you should be doing, right? So have a mentor. So if you're not having a mentor, that's the first thing that you should seek for. How to get a mentor, itself is a podcast actually. Let me tell you a fun thing about it is that mentors can be dad as well. You can, a dad people can be your mentors as well, right? So what I'm actually trying to suggest is that if you're reading someone's biography and that guy or girl is no more, right, suppose, so you can learn from their journey. You can learn from their different routes they have taken in their life. What are the situations they faced in and how they get out of this. You can learn a lot from others' life as well. So it doesn't really matter that mentor can be like, a life person that needs to be with you every time you call him or her, and he's going to be like, hey, guiding you. It's not going to be like this. Bhagavad Gita can be your mentor as well. Sri Krishna, if you think about it, right? So it's up to you that how you choose your mentor, right? Or maybe if it is a topic that is academic, in that case you need to watch others videos or stuff. You may find a lot of people who is doing really well in this topic, and if you follow their life, and also if you follow their content or somehow, you will find the answers there. You don't need to always message him, and you don't always need direct guidance from him. So have a mentor as soon as possible. That's what I would see, because it's very important to deal with the next step of this. So the second step that you should do is you need to learn and be conscious about the dip. So there is this book called The Dip by Seth Godin, and I highly recommend you this book. This is on the link of this description. So what I want to tell you about this is that whenever we are learning something new, we face a little bit of difficulties, but because it is new, we learn this, we love this kind of difficulties, and we just get past through this. And there is the phase that comes, it gets boring a little, right? Then you find a little difficulty. You are get out of one difficulty, and there is a little bit of comfort zone, and there is another difficulty, and you don't want to climb up to this mountain, right? So what we basically do is that we stay on that dip, right? Suppose you have started learning guitar, right? So you have taken 2-3 lessons and you learned it a little bit of scale and stuff, but later your teacher comes up with this new concept, and now you are at this stage that you are actually enjoying playing this kind of different scales and stuff, and your teacher is telling you that, hey, you need to learn this as well. You're like, no, I can play this small stuff, I am okay with this, right? But if you stay there, you're never going to grow, right? It's very important that whenever you're learning something, you can obviously upgrade yourself. There is no limit of learning. So it's very important that you learn about the dips, and if you can get out of these dips, you will be a different and better person. And the third thing that you must do is that teach others. I have created a dedicated podcast about this. I'll try to put the link on the description. But here's the thing. So whenever you're started to learn in school or colleges, what really used to happen is that the most brilliant student who has idea about the ideas and concepts about the things that is going to be, make him or her the first guy or girl, right? So this kind of students mostly, I'm not talking about everyone, mostly don't like to share their ideas, or don't like to share how they are learning stuff, or don't like to share that what are the tricks and tips that you can apply to actually learn this kind of stuff, right? They're not going to share mostly their knowledge. They're not going to share with you because they are afraid that you might take their place as well, right? And it's obvious, right? It's a natural human behavior. So the thing is that whenever you are actually learning, don't be that guy or girl. Try to teach others, because the more you teach, that the concept gets clarified on your mind as well. So, and if you can't really find anyone to teach, you can turn on your video and you can talk to yourself, just like I'm doing this podcast. So most of the podcast of mine is actually I myself clarifying my thoughts, right? So what I basically do is that I just open the camera and I talk about a topic, right? And I see that how clarify it gets to my mind as well. And sometimes I feel that, hey, I don't know anything about the topic, right? So it's all right. So turn on your camera. If you can't really find someone to teach it, turn on your camera, say something to that camera. When you are actually watching that video of yourself, think about it. Ask this question, that if a guy or girl who has no idea about this topic, is he going to understand it? Ask this question and try to clarify it further and further and further. This way the concept will be getting lot of clear on your mind as well. So yeah, let's conclude this podcast with these 3 steps that you must do. The first one is that have a mentor who can guide you. The second is learn about the depths, so you can obviously grow each and every time you are faced with difficulties on your learning. And the third is teach others, because by teaching others, the concept will be clarified on your mind and you will be super powerful in the topic that you're learning, right? So that's it for today's podcast. If you like this podcast, don't forget to give 5 stars from wherever you're listening to, and don't forget to subscribe as well. We are ImpleBooks at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. So that's it for today. Have a good day.